Hi everyone, my name is Cas and it's time for a list of 10 PC VR game suggestions to play with the Oculus Link for Oculus Quest. These are 10 games that you can definitely sink a lot of time into and that I have tested to work with the Oculus Quest. Do keep in mind that you still need a VR-ready gaming PC to play these games with Oculus Link, and if you own an Oculus Rift S, you can play all these games too. So how about we just get started? But first, subscribe if you haven't yet to see more videos like this one, and now, join me beyond reality. One quick note, this list is not in any particular order, so let's move on to number 1, Until You Fall. Until You Fall is a VR sword fighting experience. It is a procedurally generated dungeon crawler filled with melee and magic. What I like about Until You Fall is its beautiful neon colored art style mixed with its energetic combat. The melee fighting style is something we haven't seen before. Every time you face an enemy, a line in front of you directs how you should block or attack, but you have to be quick to respond. After successfully defeating all enemies in one level, you can pick from 3 random prizes. You can choose to heal up or to gather currency for upgrades. After going through about 5 levels, you will get a mini-boss each time, and the longer you can fight, the harder the enemies will get. And if you fall, you don't start over completely because you can use what you earned to forge new weapons and grow stronger. You will return more powerful than before. Until You Fall can definitely work your body, but it's an awesome workout. Next on the list is number 2, Skyrim VR. When Skyrim VR came out, I spent so much time on it. It was my first time inside this open-world fantasy role-playing game. I could not believe I've never played this game before, but I am happy to have experienced my first time in VR. In Skyrim, you are a Dragonborn, a prophesized hero with the power of the voice, and it is up to you to restore balance in Tamriel. It is a typical RPG where you go around, explore the world, take on the main story quests, bump into NPCs, and then take on numerous side quests. And while you do those, you find new lore, weapons, and you level up and upgrade yourself. You find a character build that you like. This can be full-on wizard or swordsman or spell sword. There's a lot of freedom in this game, and before you know it, you are many hours further. If you never tried Skyrim VR before, then I recommend you to try it out now, even if you already played Skyrim before. Next on the list, an indie game that reminds me a lot of Skyrim VR, except this next one was built with VR in mind. I'm talking about number 3, Shadow Legend VR. This is a single-player exploration RPG. In this game, you are the Grandmaster of the Knights and have been chosen by Lady Evelyn, the immortal god of Anaria, to end the war with another, dark immortal god. He has filled the world with darkness and chaos, and it is up to you to get accustomed to your chosen weapons and to defeat this enemy. In this game, you will travel to several environments. Each contains quests to do, which can be puzzles, or solving riddles, or collecting treasure. There are various enemies in each environment and each needs a specific way to kill. The treasure you find buys new weapons like swords, axes, bow and arrow or magically enchanted weapons. The combat requires you to pay attention as you have to parry and block, and to finish some enemies off, you have to hit the right weak spots to delimp an enemy. After unlocking an environment or two, there are several big boss fights too. The combat overall is more slow-paced, but I personally enjoyed this pace. One last fun thing is that this game supports speech recognition to talk to NPCs. This is a bit of an experimental feature, so it doesn't always work well, but I think once the Oculus Quest microphone works with Oculus Link, it will be fun to try this out. Next on the list is number 4, The Forest VR, which is a horror survival game. Your plane has crashed in a forest. You are the only survivor, but soon you will find out that you are not alone in this forest. It is filled with cannibalistic mutants who will come out at night, so you only have a few minutes to learn how to build and craft protection, or else you are in for a terrifying time. The forest is a typical survival game where you get hungry and thirsty. Most things around you are collectible, You can chop down trees to build a camp or start a fire to keep warm and cook. You can scavenge the materials you need to craft weapons and tools, and once you are ready, you can explore the underground network of dark dungeons and caves. You can try to find out what happened to the other passengers of the plane, or keep on exploring and trying to outsmart the mutant enemies. You can play the Forest VR in a single player or multiplayer mode. The latter has crossplay with non-VR gamers, but I recommend playing this game with other VR players because it feels more real. Keep in mind that the VR build is still in beta, so there might be bugs, but it's already a ton of fun. While you are watching this video, please don't forget to leave a like to support this channel. Now, onto a totally different game. Number 5. Wintceas 2 VR. This is a first-person grappling hook exploration game. This game has a special locomotion mechanic where it's like being Spider-Man, but instead of shooting webs, you shoot hooks to swing yourself around. Scattered around this cartoonish world are special colored trees and blocks that you can use to hook yourself on. Once hooked, you have to gain altitude and use the momentum to swing around effectively. This can take a bit of practice at first, but once mastered, you will feel so free and awesome. The game's focus is exploration, but you also have a bow and arrow. As you take on quests from NPCs, you will also battle laser shooting droids, and you will come across gigantic bosses. It is up to you to save the world from the dark forces that rise again. You can play the game in single player mode or up to 4 players in co-op entirely. There are also other game modes available like races, but you will most definitely want to play this game for the campaign mode, and if you have a friend with a VR headset, it is most fun to play together. Let's move on to my favorite of this list. Number 6. Asgard's Wrath. Asgard's Wrath is a mythical Norse adventure set in, the name says it already, Asgard. So yes, you will come across gods like Loki and Thor. This action role-playing game is my favorite game that came out this year, not only because I love the mythical genre, but also because of its storyline, game mechanics and its game length. In Asgard's Wrath, you play as a god who needs to prove himself to the other gods. Your task is to help out a select group of mortal heroes on their journeys. You will be able to switch between your godlike form and that of your mortal, which gives a great sense of skill. The gameplay consists of a lot of combat where parrying and blocking are important. Weapons don't have as much weight as in some games like Blade and Sorcery, but the killing blow animations in this game makes you feel like an amazing warrior. One other core mechanic in Asgard's Wrath are the followers. In the game, you'll be able to convert certain animals to a full-sized follower who can help you out with puzzles and combat. You can interact with them too, which certainly makes you feel like you are friends with them. The detail in this game is just fantastic. If you like exploring, you will easily be able to put in 20 to 40 hours of playtime. It's hard to summarize this game, as what I've told you here only scratched the surface, so if you haven't played this game yet, I would grab this one immediately. And before Asgard's Wrath became my favorite game, the next game on this list was there first. Number 7. Lone Echo. Lone Echo is a single-player, story-driven space simulator. You take on the role of Jack, an advanced artificially intelligent robot with a state-of-the-art synthetic body. You help Captain Olivia Rhodes solve a threatening space anomaly. Using futuristic tools, you solve puzzles like fixing things in the spaceship, and it's all in a zero-gravity environment. So yes, you will be floating in space, but the locomotion is done well that it doesn't feel heavy on the stomach. The most intriguing part of this game is that the game is pretty old already with a release date in 2017, but it is still ahead of its competitors in interactions. Hand animations, interactions with NPCs and dialogue are very well done, and that makes it more realistic to me. It is a pretty short game though, but I can totally forgive this because of all the things I just mentioned, and I haven't even mentioned that the story is good too. Lone Echo 2 is coming out next year, so this is a great time to get started on this game before the next one comes out if you haven't yet. Next on this list is another science fiction game. Number 8. Stormland. Stormland is one of the most recent Oculus exclusive releases. Set in a sci-fi world, you are a lost android. Everything around you seems to have been destroyed by the Tempest, which is a group of rogue androids who seem only to want to destroy you too. Stormland features an open world with the freedom to explore however you want. Climb up mountains, glide across chasms, and soar through the slipstream. Combat consists of mostly shooting, but you can use different strategies. Take on the Tempests with stealth and use the environment around you to distract them, or go in gun blazing with grenades. The combat is fast-paced and exciting. There's a 5-hour long storyline that you can play completely and seamlessly with someone else in online co-op. After this, you go into the cycling world with randomized missions and environments. This allows for more replayability. This game also has beautifully done interactions and is also one of the games that's hard to summarize since there is just a lot to do and explain. I haven't even talked about the upgrades that you can do to yourself. It is certainly one to not miss if you like sci-fi shooters. The next game on the list is number 9, No Man's Sky VR. No Man's Sky is an open-world space exploration game. It was a pancake game only, but VR support was added not long ago. The game is about exploration, surviving, crafting and building in space. There's a 30-hour main storyline that begins by telling you how everything works, and soon you will find yourself in a spaceship flying through space from planet to planet in this infinite procedurally generated universe. Equipped with a multi-tool that you can use to gather resources, you can decide your own destiny. There is a lot to figure out. You can become an explorer and travel to systems and gain knowledge about different life forms, or you can find a nice place to settle down and build a base however you want. Or you can become a trader, become rich and buy yourself that big freighter. Or maybe you like to hunt down space pirates. There are epic space battles to be fought. And one of the best things is that you can do almost everything together with others online too. It's a pretty calming game since there isn't much combat, but this depends on how you play. I've always felt that this game was just made for VR. There is nothing as soothing to me as flying in my own spaceship between the stars. I highly recommend this title if you haven't tried it yet in VR. And now to the last on this list. Number 10, Subnautica. Subnautica is another survival game. We've already had one in space and one in the forests, so why not also one in the depths of an ocean? Yeah, here as well you crashed with a spaceship, and this time on an alien planet that's full of water. These oceans are filled with never seen before wildlife, and just like in any survival game, most things around you are collectible. There is a lot to explore in this ocean and you will need the right tools for it. Using the resources you find, you can craft equipment, build bases and keep yourself alive. You can find blueprints that you can use to build new things like submarines to travel even further. But be careful, because in the deepest of the ocean lurks creatures that are not to be toyed with. Subnautica is a pancake game and got VR support a pretty long time ago. Unfortunately, it does not support the motion controllers, so you will have to use a gamepad or keyboard and mouse. This makes the experience pretty intense for those prone to motion sickness, so be aware of that. And if you can't handle it though, you won't want to explore this game any other way. So that was the last game on the list. Question of the day: what game on this list is your favorite of the year? Let us know down below, and if you have any other suggestions, please do comment below what game your favorite is, and if possible tell us why, so that everyone can get some more suggestions. And a special thanks goes to our right hand patrons. A special shout out goes to artArmin and his Patreon page, and another shout out goes to BaxornVR and his VR YouTube channel. Everyone, thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. And as always, VR on.